The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. Longman Simplified English Series. Read by Pichichai Nopakau. Chapter 25. Huck questioned Tom and Becky missing. Before sunrise on Sunday morning, Huck tapped at the old watchman's door. A call came from a window. "Who's there?" "Only Huck Finn." "That's a name that can open this door night or day. Welcome." These were strange words to the ears of the vagabond boy, and the pleasantest he has ever heard. The door was quickly unlocked, and the old man and his sons speedily dressed themselves. "Now, my boy, I hope you're hungry, because breakfast will soon be ready. The boys and I hope that you would stay here last night." "I was terrible," said Hook, "and I ran 3 miles without stopping. I've come now because I want to know about it, and I come before delay because I didn't want to come across those devils, even if they were dead." "No, they're not dead, Huck. We fired at them, but they got away in the dark. Then we put the police on their tracks." A description of the scoundrels would help a great deal. "Did you see what they were like?" "Yes, once the deaf and dumb Spaniard that's been around here once or twice, and the other is a nasty-looking grudge." The deaf and dumb Spaniards talkings. "Well, never mind now. We know the men. I came across them in the woods at the back of the widow's house one day, and they crept away. Off we go, boys, and tell the sheriffs." As the Welshman's sons were leaving the room, Huck sprang up and cried, "Oh, please don't tell anybody that I told you about them. Oh, please, my boy, don't be afraid of me. I wouldn't hurt a hair of your head for the world. No, I'd protect you. Why are you so frightened of this man? What do you know about them? That Spaniard is not deaf and dumb. Do you know who he is? Now trust me. I won't betray you." Huck looked into the old man's honest eyes for a moment, and then bent over and whispered in his ear, "It isn't a Spaniard. It's a Risking Joe in disgust." The old Welshman almost jumped out of his chair. "It's all plain enough now. When you told me of that knife business, I judged that it was your own fancy. Because Spaniards don't take that sort of revenge. During breakfast, the talk went on. The old man said that before going to bed he and his son had got a lamp and had examined the place near the fence for signs of blood. They found nothing but a bundle of bundle of what? The words had left to Huck's lips. He waited breathlessly for an answer. The Welshman stared in return, then replied, "These tools." Huck sank back, infinitely grateful. The Welshman eyed him curiously and then said, "What were you expecting we found?" Huck did not know what excuse to make. Then a senseless reply came into his head. There was no time to consider it, so he said vaguely, "Sunday school books, perhaps." The old man roared with laughter, but poor Huck is too troubled to smile. "Poor fellow, you look pale," said the old man. "You are not well. You are not surprised that you are a little bit queer. Rest and sleep are what you need." Huck was annoyed to think that he had been such a fool and betrayed such a suspicious excitement. Just breakfast was over. There was a knock at the door. Huck quickly hid, for he had no desire to be connected with the events of the previous night. The Welshman admitted several ladies and gentlemen, among them the widow Douglas. The Welshman has to tell the story of night to the register. The widow expressed her deep gratitude for her persuasion. "Don't thank me, madam, but for another, who won't allow me to give his name my boys, and I would never have been there." Of course, this aroused the great curiosity of the visitors, who later spread it in the town, for the old man refused to reveal his secret. There was no Sunday school during the holidays, but everyone was early at church, and the thrilling happening on Cardiff Hill were truly discussed. News came that not a sign of the villains had yet been discovered. When the service was finished, Judge Thatcher's wife came up to Mrs. Harper as she was moving down the church with the crowd and said, "Is my Becky going to sleep all day? I expected that she would be tired out." "Your Becky?" "Yes," with a straighter look. "Didn't she stay with you last night?" "Why, no." Mr. Thatcher turned pale and sank into a seat just as Aunt Polly, talking with a friend, passed by. Aunt Polly said, "Good morning, Mrs. Thatcher." "Good morning, Mrs. Harper. Tom's missing. He stayed with one of you last night, I expect, and now he's afraid to come to church." Mrs. Treasure shook her head weakly and turned paler than ever. "He didn't stay with us," said Mrs. Harper, beginning to look uneasy. An anxious expression came into Aunt Polly's face. Children were questioned, and the Sunday school teacher. They all said that they had not noticed whether Tom and Becky were on the ferry boat on the homeward trip. No one had thought of inquiring whether anyone was missing. One young man, thoughtlessly, expressed his fear that they were still in the cave. Mrs. Treasure fell away. Aunt Polly started weeping. The alarm went from street to street. Within 5 minutes, the bells of church were ringing wildly. Horses were saddled. The ferry boat was ordered out. In half an hour, 200 men were peering down the main road and the river towards the cave. All the long afternoon the village seemed dead. All the wearisome night the town waited anxiously for news. But when the morning came at last, the only message from the cave was, "Send more candles and food." Mrs. Treasure was almost mad with grief, and Aunt Polly also. The old Welshman came home towards midnight, almost worn out. He found Huck in bed with a raging fever. The doctors were all at the cave, so the widow Douglas took charge of the patient. She said that she would do her best for him, whether he was good or bad, because no human being should be neglected. Before midday, parties of exhausted men returned to the village, but the strongest villagers continued searching. All the news that could be gained was that the depths of the cave were being examined, that wherever one wandered through the passages, lights could be seen and shouts, and pistols shoot heard. That the names Becky and Tom, done in candle smoke, has been found on a rocky wall far from the path usually visited by tourists. 3 dreadful days and nights dragged by, and the village sank into despair.